Ahava v'rachamim chesed v'shalom ahava v'rachamim chesed v'shalom ahava v'rachamim chesed v'shalom.
Welcome everybody to Shalvah this week. Really happy to have you with us, and we're mindful this week that we are approaching the holiday of Shavuot. We've been counting the days between Pesach and Shavuot. As we count them down or count them up, we're getting close. We're getting close, and Shavuot represents the moment when heaven and earth touch. We imagine that moment at Mount Sinai thousands of years ago, when God, it says in the Torah, came down and the people went up, and there was this moment of the two touching, of a connection between things that seem like such separate realms. And one of the things that came out of that, of course, was Torah and this idea of communication between the divine and the human. But another thing that came out of it was the idea of really having the experience of the divine, not just words, not just teachings, but actually some sort of experience where human beings could say something about what the divine might be and how they could understand it. And out of that experience, and in Torah, we see so many different names, attempts to name the divine, to name God, that are intended to somehow form some idea of something that's so hard for us to have an idea of. The divine that's so, by definition, different from everything we know. We try to approach it by using these names, these words that might help us get an idea or just grasp a little bit. And these 4 words in this chant are words that are all said to be names of God. They're all words in Hebrew that are commonly used, but they each have a different shade of meaning, maybe that helps us get at what this connection might be between us and God, and how we can understand God. So the first one, ahava, which we commonly translate as love. But what is ahava in terms of love? In English, we tend to have this one word, love, and we use it for everything. In Hebrew, there are many different words used for love that each have a different shading. And the thing about ahava is that it's a version of love that is mutual, right? That is between the lover and the beloved are both lover and beloved at the same time. It's not, one is not higher than the other, one is not the object and the other is the subject. They're mutually subjects and objects of each other. One side loves and the other one loves in return. In fact, without that, you don't really have ahava. Ahava has to be mutual. And that's one of the things about the moment at Sinai, is a moment of mutuality. We sometimes think of the idea of the divine as something so much greater than us, so much beyond us. And yet the Sinai moment is a moment of seeing that there is mutuality there. There's mutual need. We need God and God needs us, right? Why does God give Torah to the people? It's because God needs the people in order to carry it out on earth. And the people need God as a guide, so something to give meaning to their lives. We need each other, and that's part of what this idea of ahava is a mutual love, a mutual caring, and a mutual need for each other, a mutual connection, and a mutual depending on each other. We often think of ourselves depending on the divine, but here is this idea that actually the divine depends on us. even for the very acknowledgement that there is something beyond human existence, there is some transcendence in the world that requires human beings to acknowledge it. So that mutuality is really key to that first word of ahava. The second word, rahamim, is often translated as mercy, but it's another word for love that's commonly used in ancient literature. And rachamim has the root of rechem, which is the word for womb. So it has this idea of care, that rachamim is a kind of deep, deep caring of one for another. In this case, not necessarily mutual, right? Rachamim, we imagine, right? We imagine the love of a mother for a child. It's that love is important to both sides. It's not necessarily the same on both sides. It's not a mutuality exactly. It's one side having one kind of position and trying to protect and care for the other. And that's another aspect of our understanding of the divine, is that there's a caring for us that goes beyond. It's not something we can return. There's a kind of caring for us that holds us in a way that a mother holds a baby, or any kind of parent holds a child. And that kind of caring is a little bit different, right? It's not necessarily going to be returned, but it's nonetheless such an important relationship and something that we can rely on. So that's another thing the Israelites learned at Sinai, is that God is a force that can be relied on to care for them. And that, again, is kind of a mystery. How can this force way beyond us care for our little human lives? Yet that is part of the mystery of Sinai. Then the third word, chesed. Chesed also is often translated as love or loving kindness. And chesed has this idea of unmotivated love. In other words, it's not love because of something, not even love because that love is returned. It's completely unmotivated love. The kind of love that a parent might have for a child, regardless of what that child does. And even maybe in our best times, the kind of love that we might have for a partner or a friend, that it doesn't depend on them doing something for us or being in some certain way. We just love in an unconditional way. So that's that idea of chesed, that also the divine's love for us and even our love for the divine are not motivated by we did something, God did something for us. We are special people, as we often are told. It's not because the Jews, the Israelites, were so special and wonderful that God chose to have a relationship with them. It was unmotivated by that. It was just love. So that's this idea of chesed that we can connect to, both in relationship to the divine and in relationship to other human beings. And then, of course, the last word, shalom. Shalom, we don't usually think of that as a word for love. We think of it as a word for peace. But shalom is another way of understanding that root is wholeness. That there's a wholeness, a completeness that we get in relationship that we don't have by ourselves. And so in the relationship to the divine, there is a wholeness we get by acknowledging something that goes beyond this world. And there's a wholeness for the divine. The divine is actually lacking something before the divine makes a connection with humanity. And so in coming together, that moment of connection between heaven and earth, human beings become whole in our understanding of our nature as being both somehow earthly and somehow divine, and God somehow becomes whole in having this relationship with a humanity that can again enter into mutuality, that can carry out things on behalf of the divine. There's a wholeness there that we strive for and that we can relax into in that relationship.
I so appreciate your teachings. So beautiful. What you can do with 4 words. It's really amazing. Okay, so here we are. I am so grateful for the opportunity to practice a few moments of mindfulness with you. So find a comfortable seated position or position laying down somewhere comfy. Wherever you are, if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, please do, or gaze softly a few feet in front of you on the floor. And take a few moments to take some nice deep inhales and exhales. Here we are on this gorgeous spring day. Feel your body in contact with where you're sitting or laying down. Bringing awareness from the crown of your head all the way through, scanning efficiently but thoroughly through your whole body, back, front, inside, all the way to your toes. Breathing in your body with whatever feelings you're having at this moment, being present. Here you are. And of course, going with the theme of love. When we're feeling all filled up with that teaching, we're going to take that and bring it in as a loving kindness meditation. You can use these phrases, or you can think of your own. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful. May I be whole. May my love be reciprocated. May my love be generous with no strings attached. Repeating those phrases silently to yourself. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I feel peace. May my love be generous. May my love be reciprocated. May I feel whole. And dropping into your body to feel what your body feels like when it feels filled up with love. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I feel whole. May my love be generous. May I feel peace. May my love be reciprocated. Now, holding somebody in your mind who you love and offering these phrases or your own phrases to that person for whom it's easy to conjure love. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you feel peace. May you be whole. May your love be reciprocated. May your love pour forth generously. Bringing your attention to that person again. Really, really holding that image of that person. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you feel peace. May you be whole. May your love be generous. May your love be reciprocated. And now, bringing someone to mind who challenges you, who you'd like to send some love to. Noticing if your body feels different, bringing this person to mind and preparing to offer this person love, inviting any tension to relax. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you feel peace. May you be whole. May your love be reciprocated. May your love be generous. Keeping that person in mind. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you feel peace. May you be whole. May your love be reciprocated and generous. Sending a wish for the world that all this love that we are conjuring in our practice may benefit everybody we come into contact with today and every day. And taking a nice stretch. Opening your eyes. Noticing any difference in the way your body feels. And we'll spend a few moments chanting together before we conclude. Ahava v'rachamim chesed v'shalom. Ahava v'rachamim chesed v'shalom. Ahava v'rachamim chesed v'shalom. Ahava v'rachamim chesed v'shalom. Ahava v'rachamim chesed v'shalom.
So may we take all of those different aspects of love into our week, into this time of approaching Sinai, and find ways that all of them can enrich us, enrich our relationships to the divine and to ourselves and to all the human beings with whom we share the earth.